Welcome to Food Talk, where we talk about food, farming, fishing, and all things East End. Today, my guests are Frank Trentacoste from Bhumi Farms, Shawn Christman from the Sea Bean. Welcome, guys. We have a first. We have a birthday boy on the set today.
23.
23. I thought you were 22.
Yeah, you know, I don't age well, Steve.
No, I can see that.
It's the chef life.
No, you've had a rough life already. It's very clear about that. Frank, you did it. You actually did what so many guys down in Wall Street do and dream about. You left the life, and you came out here and you became an organic farmer.
That's true.
Tell me about that story, because that's just fascinating.
Well, I didn't just wake up one day and decide to become a farmer. It was a slow process. I wasn't unhappy with finance. I liked my life. I love the city. I miss the city. I just wanted to do something that had more substance, and I wanted something with a really steep learning curve, something I've never done before. And at that time, I was getting super disenchanted with food policy in the U.S. I saw a lot of kids that were unhealthy, eating the wrong foods. So all those things combined, farming appeared. My brother was a member of Quail Hill.
Oh, great.
So I started doing their pick your own CSA. And then I met John and Karen from Sunset Beach, and I worked with them just a couple times. Right. I thought I'd give it a shot.
Great. Well, you did well, because tell me about the name Bhumi. Why Bhumi? I did a little research, but I want to hear from you.
Bhumi, at the time, prior to farming, when I was in the city, and part of the process of going from finance to farming was yoga. I did a lot of yoga, so it's Sanskrit for Goddess Earth. So it made sense, just paying homage to the earth and everything it yields, and also at that time in my life, it fit in really well too.
Great.
So.
And how long has Bhumi been open for now?
We just finished our 4th season.
Great.
It's 2 years at the farm stand, and prior to that, we had land behind Balsam, but nobody knew we were there.
Right.
So we had to find a way to get some distribution.
And how late will you sell your wares, your produce from that stand on Panago?
We're pretty much closed. We're open spotty. Most of the food we're doing now is through our fall CSA in the city. Right. Because the harvest now is amazing.
Right, because there's a Bhumi Brooklyn, correct?
There's not a physical structure called Bhumi Brooklyn, but we deliver to Brooklyn and we deliver to Manhattan.
Right. This is because Shawn needs more caffeine, folks. It's very, very clear.
It's very early.
He's running he's on low energy.
Hey, you know, we had a long weekend, Steve. We were at Long Island Vodka doing our thing for Saturday and Sunday. It's beautiful over there.
Yes, it is.
Quite the amount of people come through to try some Long Island wines on their time off. It's kind of a cool thing.
So, you know my son Ned.
I do.
From his days and your days at Nick and Tony's.
That's
right.
right.
You also worked at Topping Rose, Crow's Nest. These are top restaurants. How do you go from, or what's it like to go from working upscale lines and upscale restaurants to running a mobile food truck?
Well, you know, I tell you, the change between working from a restaurant into a truck, the stuff that takes the most getting used to, the stuff that you miss the most from working in a restaurant is the hard plates. Mostly everything goes into a box or it goes onto a paper plate. We use post-consumer recycled cardboard and biodegradable plastic starch and things like that. But you don't get that, you know, you don't get to use your plate as a vessel or like a
pallet, a canvas.
Right, it's not a canvas anymore.
I never thought
as
that.
much.
Makes perfect sense.
So it's a challenge. And then also, you know, the food truck clientele is just different, you know. I mean, I knew going into the food truck business that I was going to be selling a lot of fish tacos and things that people just want to eat every day.
Right.
And for me, it was the transition of from going to an everyday food that made it a challenge and make it exciting as a chef, to not lose, you know,
the spark,
the inspiration, the spark, the finesse. As you know, not letting your skills really diminish has been a challenge as far as like plating is concerned.
So Bhumi is the yellow building that's really between, let's say, the post office and the town hall offices, and so that's on the north side of 27. Sea Bean, Do you have one place where you can always be found, or what's your rotation, and how long into the season will you be
Well,
serving?
our commissary kitchen is at the Springs General Store, so we work out of
I
Springs.
didn't know that.
But Christy Hood over there,
Sure.
she's the chef. She's a big inspiration of mine, hardworking woman. She's been super generous in letting us sort of work a bit out of there. But in the summertime months, we have a contract with the town to be at a road end beach, but most of our business is private catering. We do we're a full service caterer, so we do a lot of in-home different stuff, pig roasts, I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. Anything you could think of culinary, we do it. We use all the best, like for the pig roast, for example, we get our meats from D'Artagnan Meats, and it's all great stuff, great product. So we, focus on the clients that are interested in food with a moral sense, which is why I get a lot of my stuff from Frank. It's the only certified organic place in town. A lot of my clients want that, and they want to know what they're eating, and they have the money to pay for it. And so, we try to get the best product we can.
And Frank, to become certified organic, that's a bit of a rigmarole. Yeah, or is it simpler than one thinks?
It's like filing taxes. It's like filing taxes, but putting a plan in place and having the auditor sit next to you and do spot checks whenever they want. So the process of filling out the forms is just tedious, but it's not difficult.
Right.
Then there's a cost to it.
Right.
But everything beyond that point, once you're certified, I think, in my opinion, that's when the difficulties start, because they spot check you. Everything you put in the ground has to be certified. So even my cover crop probably costs 3 or 4 times more than if I purchase a non-certified cover crop.
Are you talking about, aside from crop, Frank, what about I've noticed that you've gone to extreme lengths as far as using paper to cover your field as opposed to the plastic that most of the other local guys use. Is that required, or is that just an extra step?
No, it's just our belief. Our belief is that the soil is really where it's at. So we do everything to keep the soil as healthy as possible. And so that's an example. We use paper on our beds instead of plastic, because in my opinion, I think it's better for the soil to make it breathe more. And plastic doesn't, at all costs, you should avoid plastic on the field. But as far as being certified, there's a huge uptick in cost and planning. And frankly, we don't get it back on the other side.
No.
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 Especially from a lot of wholesale accounts, they don't. So I'm doing it more for very specific clients that want certified organic. But to Shawn's point, being certified organic is a very, very small step, and in my opinion, what a farm should be.
So let's just talk a little bit about soil.
Yeah.
Not dirt, soil.
Yeah.
Is some of the soil out here Bridgehampton loam? Or is
that's
that's the only term I
they call it
know.
sandy loam.
Sandy loam.
Yeah. When I
throwing a big term around, it's got Bridgehampton loam. Tell me.
They say sandy loam. When you send it out for a soil sample, they'll put it into categories and they'll call it sandy loam. But even within a field, depending how big it is, there's different types of soil within that field. So no one's testing every inch of their field. But in general, the soil where we are in the Amagansett, East Hampton area is sandy loam.
Is that the same thing as Bridgehampton loam or no?
I think it's the same thing. Yeah.
Probably. Just
yeah.
wondering.
That's what I mean. There's certain people that have been here longer that told me it's Bridgehampton sandy loam, and then I think we all just repeat it.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
just the one term I know about the soil out here, which is pretty cool. You also did an interesting thing because you started the sea bean from a Kickstarter campaign.
I did.
Tell me about that and how long it took, and you raised over $15,000.
When was
I
that?
did. About 2 years ago. So we started this business. I was working at the Crow's Nest. Busy summer, as you know, over there. I left there sort of abruptly towards the end of the season.
Did you walk off the line? Was it one of those things?
Nothing like
just
that.
checking.
Actually, Jeremy Bloodstein's a great chef, and I highly respect the guy, and he was a great guy to work for. I just, at my point in the career, decided that I was sick of putting my love and effort and energy into somebody else's pocket and somebody else's, giving somebody everything I have and it not being appreciated. So I decided that I would, go back, take some time off and really think about what I wanted to do. My wife and I, we were expecting a baby last year. We welcomed our baby, Ruby Josephine, into the world.
Sweet
And
name.
it's named after my grandmother, Josephine. But I wanted to, I wanted to do something that I could be proud of, and something that could be a seasonal business, because my wife's a school teacher, so she's busy with school in the winter. I stay home with the baby.
Oh, nice.
And she watches the baby in the summer, and I do the food truck. So it was something that happened in the middle of the winter. I came into some a loanable money, and I decided to jump on it, and that was in January. We bought the truck, I think it was January 5th. 2015, and it takes a long time to really get it going. We had got the truck in Connecticut, which passed Board of Health inspection there, but it was a $15,000 renovation in Suffolk County. Suffolk County happens to have some of the toughest health regulations in the country.
Yes, they do.
So what that consisted of was replacing a sink, essentially getting some new hot water heaters. But our truck is beautiful now. It's it's magnificent. It's a beast. It's better than most kitchens commercially around town. I mean, it's 100% stainless steel. It's very clean. It's shiny. I love it.
I got to see this truck.
Yeah, I'd love to show it to you.
What else made the list besides the food truck? What else did you think you may want to do?
Well, I worked a little bit for John and Cheryl over at the Art of Eating for a little while, and I toyed around with the idea of catering for a while. My mother's a chef. She was a caterer for a while and a private chef, and I really enjoyed working for Cheryl. She really showed me that food can be fun at a wedding, or it
She's
just
a great
gets
chef.
really creative.
We had her on the show earlier this year.
Oh, yeah.
And Bluestein too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're both amazing people, culinarily speaking.
Yep.
And Cheryl just, part of going to someone's home and having a party with the food truck, everyone's there to have a good time,
Right.
No one's there to be like, excuse me, I have to go. Can I have mine with, no.
This is it.
People just want to eat whatever you give them.
Right.
They're having a great time. That's the atmosphere I wanted to be in. I used to be a musician, and I was in the audio field before I became a chef. And part of wanting to do that for a living was having fun with people, creating new things, but also just being in an atmosphere where people are there to have a good time makes a big difference.
Yeah, it sure does. That's great. And I never thought about not having plates as your canvas at a food truck. That really just makes a ton of sense. And congratulations for finding a way around that, letting go of that. And
Well,
so
it took 2 years, but now we got these beautiful post-consumer recycled white cardboard boxes that are really cool.
so you can actually plate the
You
dish.
can kind of bake it, a little bit.
I like
It's
that.
kind of like a white.
I think I might have already asked this, but is the truck, if I wanted to go to the truck this weekend, are you going to be around anywhere this weekend? Are you more or less shut down having the
We're
truck?
doing a gig for one of the schools in town. We're working. I'm not too sure of the specifics, but we're hired privately for
Right.
the weekend.
Yeah,
Next weekend we'll be at the haunted house at the Montauk Lighthouse.
Oh, nice.
Which will be really fun. I think it opens around 3.
Okay.
And goes till sometime in the evening. But we'll be serving some spooky food and
Sounds like fun.
stuff under the Montauk light. So it's a good time. Come down if you're around and check it out. Bring the kids.
So now we're going to do
That was easy.
talking to Shawn, talking to Frank. So we're going to do one of our little features, which is sort of Stump the Chef with our food lover's companion. And a little roulette. So last night I pulled up this word. You might know this since you have worked in many upscale restaurants. What is sapsago? Sapsago.
Sapsago it's a soup, right? Am I right? I've heard this phrase before. I can't remember.
Oh, they don't even have an X button
Yeah,
here.
I don't have the.
No one gets them wrong.
What is it? I've heard it.
All right, so it's a hard cone-shaped cheese
Oh, that's
from
right.
Switzerland, made from skimmed cow's milk
He doesn't eat cheese.
and
He's a
contains
vegan.
less than 10% fat. It actually sounds pretty good, but it has a light green color and a pungent herbal flavor that come from the addition of blue melilot, which is a special variety of clover. So I really
Sounds
pulled that
good.
one out. Now, you guys want to stump me? Because
I do. I've got
Yeah.
one for you.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what this is? It's a local wild edible.
It's a sea bean.
It's a sea bean.
Yeah, I got lucky. That's all that is.
That's true.
That was easy. easy.
These are late. They're very late. You can see like they
It's written
kind of
all
get
over you,
they
get
get like kind of stubby.
Can we get
like
let's get a
Frank.
close up
ribbed, yeah.
on
They're
by the
also
way,
called Salicornia.
we're in studio.
Samfer, they're called in England, but they grow in brackish water locally here.
Do you
They're
eat
from
them raw?
Acapulco. You can. I wouldn't eat that one.
Awkward moment here.
No, that one's a little tough probably because it's almost like when you overwinter a vegetable.
Yeah.
That toughness it gets
Yeah.
in certain parts. That's what he
So
just.
why
had.
is it salty?
But these are salty because they grow in
salt
like
water.
in between salt and
Oh,
fresh
cool.
water.
What a great flavor, actually.
Yeah.
So
it's
why'd you
really
name
good
it
with
after that?
asparagus. I had a really great chef that inspired me to kind of go out. He wasn't from here. He was from somewhere else, but he knew about this amazing local ingredient, and I didn't, and I felt silly because of it, and really like got me into the woods.
That's cool.
Trying different stuff, and I was thinking, oh, it's gonna be parked at the beach. Let's call it the beach pea, which is what these are, which are some people might say a weed, but you know it depends on how you look at something, I guess.
Sugar plums? Beach plums?
Beach plums. I was thinking about naming the food truck. Like, what am I gonna put this little thing down at the beach? Let's call it the beach pea. We need something cute. Beach
And let's
pea,
talk about the
sea
name
bean.
sea bean because sea bean to you means a drifting bean.
Oh yeah. Also, a sea bean is. That's right. It's when like a palm seed drops off of a tree
Right.
and like goes out to sea.
Right.
It gets washed like beach glass does. It comes back on the beach looking kind of cool. A lot of people make necklaces, jewelry, different things out of them. Down mostly in the Caribbean.
Right,
So,
okay.
you know,
Fair enough.
We definitely do a little Caribbean flair. I don't know.
So now's the time for another one of our little features, Frank. 5 people that you would invite to dinner in the whole world, whole history of the world. What do you got for us?
All right, so this is what I was thinking about. Food policy, as I mentioned earlier, is a big deal for me, and it's awful. So I was thinking to get a few people from one side of the debate and a few people from the other side of the debate. So I would put Dan Barber and
Dan Barber from Blue Hill.
from Blue Hill
Yeah.
and Michael Pollan, the author of a lot of good books.
Right.
And they're on the pro-food movement side.
Correct.
And then I'd probably try to invite someone from either the USDA or the FDA or Monsanto on the other side
Nice.
and see what kind of debate is stirred up. But I couldn't find names. But if it was 2 and 2, I'd probably just invite my grandpa too because he was pretty cool.
Grandpas are good.
Yeah.
Grandpa Frank, yeah.
Nice. Good. Good. What about you, Shawn?
I'd also invite my grandfather. My grandfather was one of the first, if not, I think the first Italian-American elected to Suffolk County legislator, Buddy Fuqua, back in the 70s, and I miss him
Joey,
very
the
much.
body shop guy?
Joey, the body shop. No, my uncle, my grandfather. He was a good dude, and I miss him a lot. He was a big figure in my community. He started a charity called the Fuqua Memorial Golf Tournament, which benefits Camp Aquatic in Center Moriches. It's a handicap, or it's a camp for disabled children ages 6 to 21. A lot of kids go there and never spent a night out of their home in their life. They spend a week there. It's great. We have this golf tournament every year. To pay for it, we're the biggest contributor, I believe. This year we raised $135,000.
Wow.
Wonderful.
In one day. It's at the Bellport Country Club. It's a great event. My grandfather was a great, generous guy. I miss him a lot. The other 4, I'd have to say, are my father, probably, who's in Australia, can't be with me at the moment. Miss him a lot as well. And then on the selfish part, just to have cool people around, my bigger inspirations when I was younger would be like Bradley Noel from Sublime, who was a singer, Johnny Cash,
Nice.
and maybe Elvis. I don't know.
Oh, that's
but
good.
That would be a fun dinner, I think.
Well, that's
you know?
fun. I love that. I
Yeah.
love this part.
It's so interesting that your guests, there's no food guests.
Well, I mean,
They're all from your previous music life.
you just asked me who would like to have dinner.
Well, he's
with.
cooking the food, so that's.
Oh,
that's
you're the food guest.
Yeah, I mean,
So speaking of food, you have brought some food for you're going
I
to
have.
prepare, and let's switch spots.
wanna switch?
Let's switch it up,
all right, cool.
and tell us what you've brought, and
Some of this here is from Frank. Some of this is from Balsam Farms. This is one of my favorite fall vegetables. It's called Romanesco. Is that right, Frank?
Yeah.
And it's like broccoli, kind of cauliflower mix. Frank, what's the name of these eggplant here? These are beautiful. I stabbed these with a knife and roasted them
The
off.
little long Hansel, they're called. There's two. I think I gave you two varieties.
Those are the fairy tale
tales.
eggplant, right? These are awesome in purple before you roast them.
They look like marble.
These are Matthew's cherry tomatoes, and this is some winter squash, which you have over here.
Beautiful.
These are really tough to cut. You gotta really get a knife in here and smack it and open it, and really be careful when you play around with these.
We've got about 7 minutes left, so do your thing over there.
All right, you got it.
That winter squash, black futsu, is a rare Japanese squash. The one that you were about to stab, Shawn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The rare Japanese squash, Frank.
The black futsu.
Listen, we've also got some good curry. We're gonna get a good curry going on over here. I've got some different ingredients over here. This is coconut milk.
Yum.
This is chicken stock. This is a finished sauce, which I'll show you later. And this is just a little cornstarch slurry. This is some line-caught striped bass that I caught myself. And this is tatsoi from Frank's farm. One thing, Asian cooking, I love Asian cooking because, you know, it's basically all the same stuff. You start off, you know, with your basic ginger, garlic, scallions. It's like the Asian mirepoix. You know, you do like 2 to 1 on the scallions to the ginger and garlic. It's a great start. I'm going to get that going for you in a second. I've also, like I said, I got this nice striped bass here. This is green curry paste. You can get curry pastes and different fermented bean pastes in the grocery store. And they're a really great flavor base. You can get them in the Asian foods aisle. But you play around with it. You know, if you start all this stuff with ginger, garlic, scallions, you can pretty much add whatever you want. It's going to taste good. We'll show you a little bit here.
Where'd you catch the bass? You don't have to
The
tell us
bass is off the lighthouse,
Okay.
Montauk Lighthouse.
Nice.
Yeah, we had
Day
a
or night?
nighttime.
Yep.
Going out fishing. I just got a new boat. Today is its maiden voyage.
And what kind of boat? Tell us about the
It's a
boat.
22-foot cuddy cabin, little family boat. I got it from my friend Paulie, and he's actually coming with me today. We're going to do some fishing today for my
Great.
birthday.
Oh,
so.
yay. What a great day.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a good time. Halfway to 70. Actually, I'm a third of the way to 105. Is that right, Frank?
Right. Sounds more optimistic.
I like it. And yeah, that's the story. So
Frank, who's the most influential person in your life?
I would say it's people and my parents.
Yeah.
Immigrants from Sicily, started from nothing. 4 kids. I mean, they did a lot. They did a lot with a little. So, yeah, I don't think any one person more than my parents.
What about you, Shawn?
what was the question, Steve?
The most influential person in your life?
Well, for becoming a chef, the most inspirational person in my life is definitely my mom. You know, she went back to culinary school when she was about 40 years old. She moved back to New York City after, you know, she had been a successful entrepreneur and business person in her previous life. She wanted to try something new. And just like her, I needed a change in my life at that time and decided to give cooking a try. It had been working for her. I thought it would be good for me. My mom's the best. You know, she did the best she could with me. She was a single mom growing up.
Takes a lot of strength and courage and just optimism to switch careers mid-career.
Especially at 40, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I can say going back to culinary school, I went to about a year of culinary school. I didn't graduate. I learned basically most of the stuff I know from working for guys like Joe Realmuto and Jason Weiner and different local chefs. You know, you learn the basics and stuff, but you don't really pick much up until you really apply it. And
Right. Well, they're 2 great guys to learn from, as you know. And
totally.
good people. too.
I have to say, as an inspiration to become a business owner, I had some inspiration. I want to say Mark Smith from Nick and Tony's, and these guys, the way they treat their people that work for them,
Right.
and the way they run their organization, definitely inspired me as a business owner. You know, I feel like if you find somebody that's really good, and you know you can't afford to pay them, you make them a partner. Sort of having everybody do a job that's a part owner, offering people profit share, and having there be growth potential for people is really important. And for me, just being in that environment, I was only there for 12 months at Nick and Tony's, but I saw a lot of really cool things that I took with me. And, you know, it's important working to respect and to enjoy and to like the people you work for.
Correct.
It's important, and it's rare as well. You don't always find that.
I couldn't agree more because I'm a product of Nick and Tony's because I was the bar manager there from 1991 to 96, and so I actually saw Joe when he came in with his resume for the first time to work with Paul Duffy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Smitty, so they're good people and they run a good operation for the reasons that you mentioned, you know.
Yeah.
So we got about 2 minutes left, so I don't know how fast that's going to cook. But
2 minutes, huh?
Yeah. We'll have it done, Chef. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. What are you putting in there?
So that's a little chicken stock.
Yeah.
A little. This is a little Thai green curry paste. I'm gonna add. You know what? I was gonna put these in there, but since you said we're time constrained, I won't.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just gonna do a little bit of some coconut milk here, some chicken stock.
How did that coconut milk get so thick?
It's the cream of the top.
Okay.
So you know, you just take the fattier part off the bottom. Just really good quality too. Stuff, and you just take the cream off the top like you would milk. So I got this sauce going on here.
Smells good, right?
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Switch to this guy. Whoa, I'm making a mess.
It's all right.
But we're gonna have some striped bass curry here. I got coming up for you.
What are you
You
fishing
can
for?
thicken this if you want, really quickly, with just a little cornstarch slurry, which is just cornstarch and water. You just mix it up till it looks like whole milk. And once it's hot, just pour a little bit in there, and it'll thicken right up.
What?
Get a plate out for you.
What are you guys fishing for tonight?
Striped bass, my man, and
Tis the season.
tomorrow we'll be hopefully going for some blackfish, which
I
is
caught a
one
ton
my
of blackfish
Did
a
you?
few weeks ago. My God.
All right, so that sauce is good to go.
Good.
We got 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Looks like we're out of time. What?
Well-
That's all right. Until next time, all right?
Yeah, no, thank you. We're gonna keep it rolling. In the meantime, cógelo suave, pero cógelo. Take it easy, but take it. Thanks for joining us.